Look, I hate to be the bearer of bad news because what I'm about to say is for sure to piss a lot of people off, but it needs to be said anyway. I think niching down is honestly terrible advice that holds a lot of great content creators back because it certainly did for me. And if there's one hope for this video is that this mistake doesn't happen to you either. It limits your follower growth, it holds brands back from wanting to work with you, and 90% of creators pivot their content at some point anyway, so it might as well just have this perspective now and get it over with. And look, I get it why all of these YouTube growth guru experts say to niche down, pick a lane, get hyper-focused, because on paper it makes a lot of sense, but in the real world, especially now in 2026, that can get thrown out the window. Because there's a version of this advice, this niche down advice, that quietly puts a ceiling literally on everything that you create. Your growth, your revenue, your options. And unfortunately, most people don't realize this until they're already boxed in. And by then, you've likely spent months, maybe even years, building a following or an audience or some sort of channel built around a single topic that you might not necessarily be interested in anymore, where you can provide a ton of value in so many different areas. And that's the uncomfortable truth that not a lot of people like to talk about because it's very unpopular. But here's honestly what happened to me. I'm a nerdy, creative guy in my 30s. I've got a background as a mechanic working in the skilled trades. I've done corporate management for Fortune 500. I've ran sales and marketing, and I understand the business and the brand strategy that kind of puts it all together. But it was about a year ago when I started to make more YouTube videos. The typical narrative from growth experts told me to double down and make more videos about OBS streaming and tutorials. But thinking back to all that now, that's sort of the real life equivalent of me wanting to open up a restaurant, but someone telling me to start a hot dog stand on the street corner instead. And in the case of YouTube, that's kind of like handing out little tech support flyers on the street corner as people are walking back that have random problems with their streaming in OBS. But I do want to be able to make more content about things other than just hot dogs, if that makes any sense. So over the past year, I kept thinking to myself, how much am I leaving on the table by just talking about OBS content for streamers? So here's what I actually think is a better move and what I'm personally doing right now. Instead of niching down on a single topic like OBS, I am niching down on a set of skills. And I keep telling myself that I am the niche of my content. It's the idea that your contribution and personal experience and perspective is what people are following, not just the title of the video that you make. Because when you build a brand around your skill sets and your interests instead of a single topic, all of your content becomes way more flexible. You're not locked into a corner of YouTube anymore because you have the creative and mental freedom to explore and go deeper into maybe some sub-niches of the content that you're creating. And I think that right there is a lot closer to the truth that brands want from creators and that the creators want from the content that they make. And you can make little pivots along the way without feeling like you're going to trap yourself in a box with a specific niche label on it. So how do you know if this is you, and what should you do with your brand and your content strategy going forward? So here's a quick gut check. Write down everything that you're interested in, and then all the skills that you have. You don't have to be an expert, just things that you can do. And then answer the following questions. I make content for XYZ people who do this, that, and the other thing. I help insert audience group with X so they can do 1, 2, and 3. Most people struggle with A, B, and C, so I make content about 1, 2, and 3. If answering those questions, if it opens up something bigger than the videos that you're currently making, that's the gap right there. That's the gap that you're leaving on the table for yourself. And honestly, no amount of SEO or posting consistency or viral hooks are going to fix a positioning problem. And I will 100% be honest with you right now, I'm still connecting all the dots for myself. I think that's probably why I feel like I can talk about this openly and honestly. But one thing I know is this, that picking a lane and staying in your niche and finding 50 different ways to talk about the exact same thing is an oversimplification of a very big process. And I think for a lot of people, especially ones with multiple careers and different perspectives and real world experiences, that sticking with one niche is actively holding you back every single day you go on without making a change. And honestly, if I was placing a bet, you're probably worth a lot more views and a lot more money than your current niche is giving you credit for. So if this sort of thought process landed for you, make sure to give the video a like and hit the subscribe button, because if it isn't clear by now, I am going to be making a lot more content talking about this sort of stuff, because exploring the intersection of content and branding and business and how all that comes together is going to build something real in the long term. So I will see you in the next one. Peace.